Today I'm going to show you how to winterize a 6-zone sprinkler system. Mine is it's a Rainbird ESP-LX. I don't know if that really matters. I'm just going to show you how I would do it with my system. Okay, so step one is to turn off the water from the city to your property. My system needs a turnkey like this, and the valve is right over here in the ground. I'm going to uncap that, reach down in there, and turn this to turn the water off. Okay, now with the water off, we're ready to go ahead and blow water through the system. Mine has an inlet valve for attaching the air unit over here right by where I turned off the water. Alright, so to get your air compressor hooked to that thing, you gotta go from this to that pipe somehow, and so I had to construct this. This is an attachment that came with my air compressor, and I had to basically adapt it twice to get it to fit that pipe. So I have this one screwed onto that one, and then thread seal tape in there really tight. And just attach that to air compressor. And then get your air compressor charged up to 50 psi. Don't ever go more than 60, or some people say 80 psi. If you do too much, it's the actual friction of the air going through your pipes can actually melt the PVC. So don't go too high. 50 psi should be enough for a 6-zone system like what I have. I'm going to go ahead and get the air compressor charging up right now as I attach this to the valve. My system has a backflow preventer. First, we're just going to shut the whole system off. There's the backflow preventer. And so basically what we're going to do is blow air from the street through the backflow preventer to get that part winterized. Now with the main water shut off to the system, we still have ball valve number 1 is open the way it was for summer. And now we're going to open test cock number 1, which is this bottom one. Always a rule of thumb is the valve, if it's perpendicular to whatever tube or whatever, it's off, and so we're just going to line it up, and that opens test cock number 1. And then we're going to close ball valve number 2, which goes out to the yard. So essentially we have the air trapped in this area, and so the air is going to come through here and blow water out of here. Alright, so now if we just attach the air to my adapter, you're going to see water shoot out the side of that. It's going to get all over everything in front of it, so if you have anything that's you don't want to get wet, just move that out of the way. So here we go. Blow nice and clear. Okay, once you're done blowing out the backflow preventer, leave your ball joints at like a 45-degree angle to the pipe. That way they won't freeze. And then also do that with your both test cocks. So just turn that screw just about a 45-degree angle on both those. Those are ready for winter. Okay, with ball valve number 2 closed, we're going to open up this T-valve here. A lot of houses have a spigot right here, but I don't have that. I just have a T-valve in, so I'm going to open that. Plug in my air using this connector, and we're going to blow it out that way. once your air compressor is charged and ready, remember, as soon as you connect that thing, you've got your pressure going in. So you want to be ready so you're not blowing up against closed valves. So as soon as you get that air plugged in, open up your valves. So I'm going to go ahead and plug the air in, turn this to zone 1, and then hit run. For zone 1, air on, zone 1, start. I mean, you're advised to have a big air compressor so that it can keep pressure up while it's blowing out your system. I have a 21-gallon pump here, and I've always had sort of an issue with it running out of air before the system's blown out, so I blow out each zone like several times just to get them good and cleared out. Put this up to 50. Okay, so now we're going to do zone 2. Plug in air. Zone 2. Start. Okay, so sometimes I've had the problem of valves not opening when I use the control system, so I'm going to manually turn this on. Alright, I was actually having a problem when I would hook up the air, turn on a zone. I wasn't, even though I had my tank charged on my air compressor all the way, like I wasn't getting enough pressure to even put the heads up in the yard. And so I had another guy help me out, and we found out what I need to do with my system, probably because my air compressor is not big enough, I don't know, is just put the air on and just really let it charge up the main line for quite a while until you can turn on maybe a hose bib somewhere and feel some good air pressure coming out. And then I actually had to go and manually turn on each of my zones by hand, turning the solenoid. I'll show you how that's done. So after we got lots of air pressure in, just for each zone, just turn this. Only needs to be about a quarter turn. And then let that blow out for just a bit. Just until you get a good mist from each head. That's probably about good there. I would say that's good for that zone. Alright, let's do this zone. Might want to give it a minute. And those, I've already done this once, and those aren't even coming up, so I'd say they're probably good. And just hand tighten them. It's enough so that they're manually off. Okay, now that all the zones are blown out, I'll just pull my air off. Put my T-cap back in. And then we're going to do the same with all ball valves. Just put them at a 45-degree angle. Alright, so we should be set for winter.